Everyone, I am Farin Farzana, Assistant Professor, Savitha Engineering College, Chennai. This video will give you a deep insight about what is machine learning, what are the types of machine learning, and how to design a game of checkers. I welcome you all to attend the five-day online FDP on machine learning techniques. Hope you people will have a good time. Thank you. What is machine learning? Once upon a time, if you want a computer to perform a task, we had to give a set of instructions. We call it as a program for the computer to follow. This is good for very simple task. But what if the computer wants to identify a message, identify an image? If I ask the computer to differentiate between a cat and dog, will it able to do with a simple program? Maybe alphabetically, if I write cat and dog, maybe the computer may read it alphabetically and can say right or wrong. But if I give the image of a cat or a dog and ask it to find, will it be able to find it? No. So what we have to do, we need to train our computer with lots of identical images of cats and dogs so that it learns and help to recognize them. So this is machine learning. It is teaching computers how to do something by experience rather than by instructions. It is the equivalent of when we take decision based on intuition, that is, which is based on your previous experience. In a way, machine learning is about teaching computers how to think like human. So in a very precise way, machine learning is common sense except done by a computer. This video will help you learn what is machine learning. I gave you the example of a cat and a dog, and this video will tell you exactly what is machine learning. In this slide, you can see about the various applications of machine learning. Predicting house prices based on the size, number of room, location. You can use linear regression algorithm to predict the house prices and predicting the stock market based on other factors of the market and yesterday's price. This also can be done with the help of linear regression. Detecting spam or non-spam email is a classification algorithm. Then you can go for recognition of images as faces, animals, etc. based on the pixel, processing long documents and outputting a summary, recommending videos, recommendations, and you can go for sentimental analysis. You can you can predict whether a patient is affected with cancer or not depending upon the symptoms, and self-driving cars that are able to navigate a city, playing games like checkers, and segmenting market into similar groups based on location, acquisitive power, interest, and you can also like find out fraudulent transactions using anybody's credit card. These are the various applications of your machine learning. The definition of data. Data is the basic unit of machine learning. Data is world now, without which the world doesn't exist. Information is very valuable. So here we define data as a simple information on a table with information. We have it as a data set. Now when you see in this picture, you can see a lot of pet animals, and this pet animals, here you can see pet dog, and you can see different breeds of pet dog. The first one is Chihuahua, next one is Maltese dog, Blenheim Spaniel, Toy Terrier, Afghan Hound, so on. And each row represents a breed. Each row represents a breed, and we call it as a data point. And each row, every breed has various features, and we call it as columns, which we are going to see in our next slide. The features of the columns of the table. in the pet data set, the features are the size, name, type, weight, etc. So this describes our data, or this describes our data set. Now the next point of discussion is label. So what is a label, and what is labeled data and unlabeled data? See, if you are trying to predict a feature based on others, then that feature is the label. If you are trying to predict the type of the pet, whether we are having a cat or a dog, based on the information on that pet, then that is the label. If you are trying to predict if the pet is sick or healthy based on the symptoms and other information, then that is label. If you are trying to predict the age of the pet, then age is the label. Depending upon the size, depending on the weight, depending on all the other features, if you are trying to predict the age, then age is a label. Now we are going to have two important divisions and labels: labeled data and unlabeled data. A data that comes with a label like cat or a dog, like it is specified 15 lbs, 14 lbs, the dog weighs 14 lbs, the dog weighs 15 lbs, the dog is white in color, the dog is brown in color. So these are labeled data. Unlabeled data is one which doesn't come with any specifications. Performance increases with experience. To put up in simple words, here we are going to consider three examples: a checkers learning problem, handwriting recognition problem, and robot driving problem. So in the first example, the task T is playing checkers. Playing checkers. And how will you measure the performance when you play? Winning or losing the game? Performance measured by the percent of the number of games won by the computer. And what is the experience? How will you train your computer? By playing against itself. So if it has played some 100 number of games, then the chances of winning increases. The second one is a handwriting recognition problem. Handwriting recognition problem. Here the task is classification of handwritten words within images. And what is the performance? How will you measure the performance? The percent of words correctly classified. And what is the experience? The database of handwritten words within given classifications. And third one is a robot driving problem. So when you drive a car, sometimes you may feel very tired and you think, what if I have a robot to drive a car? So how will you make the robot learn to drive a car? It will observe you and learn. And what is the task? Task is driving in a 4-lane highway. And what is the performance measure if it drives the car without any accident? So the average distance covered by the robot without any accident, which will be adjudged by the human overseer. And how it gains experience? Does it drives the car daily? No, it observes. It observes the sequence of images and the steering commands done by the human driver. In order to illustrate some of the basic design issues and approaches to machine learning, let us consider designing a program to play checkers. So the goal is to enter the World Checkers Tournament. We adopt obvious performance measure is the percent of games it wins in this World Tournament. So the objective is to design a game of checkers and make the computer play in the World Chess Tournament and make it win. So while designing the learning system, you need to keep these 5 attributes in mind. Choosing the training experience, choosing the target function, choosing a representation of the target function, choosing an algorithm, and the final design. The first design choice we face is to choose the type of training experience from which our system will learn. So the type of training experience available can have a significant impact on the output of the game. What is the outcome of the game? It can be won or it can be lost. Okay, so one key attribute is whether the training attributes gets direct feedback or indirect feedback. What is meant by direct feedback? Direct feedback is getting data from your direct training examples. To put it in simple words, the computer might have practiced lot of games and all the informative both states are there in the database, and it can get feedback if this move is whether this particular move is correct or not from the training examples it has already done. That is called as direct feedback. Indirect feedback. What is indirect feedback? It will be available, or the information consisting of the move sequence and the final outcomes of the various games played will be available in the indirect information. Okay, so a particular move at that particular when a computer is playing, a particular move will take the game towards winning or it takes towards losing. So here again there comes an additional responsibility called as credit assignment. If a particular move has led to win a game, then we call it as credit assignment. Or if a particular move has led the computer to lose the game, then we blame that particular move. And the second attribute which the training experience need to consider is the degree to which the learner controls the sequence of the training example. That is, he totally rely on the teacher for the correct move. For every particular move, the model depends upon the teacher. Or what it does is, while it is playing, it may go for a new move and gets confused and refer the teacher and ask whether the particular move is correct or not. This is another way. Or the third way is, it can take the whole control of the both states and indirect training classification, as it does when it learns by playing against itself with no teacher present. So this will help you to create new both states and honing its skill by playing minor variation of line of play it currently finds most promising. And the third important attribute is how well it represents the distribution of example over which the final system performance be measured. Take for example, the computer plays against itself and it wins all the game. But this will not be sufficient to go for or to be eligible to play in World Chess Tournament. So the distribution of games is the distribution of example is very important. If its training experience E consists only of games played against itself, it is an obvious danger that this experience might not be fully representative for the distribution of situation over which it will later be tested. For example, the learner might never encounter certain crucial both states. It is often necessary to learn from the distribution of example that is somewhat different from those on which the final system will be evaluated. The main objective of a player or the computer in the game of checkers is what next, which is the next move which will lead to win a game. Design choice is to determine exactly what type of knowledge will be learned and how this will be used by the performance program. So to put in simple word, here we are going to write a program. This program, the objective of this program is to select the best both states available in a function called as B, and from which we will select the best move which will be determined from the legal states available in M. Okay, so we are going to define board state B as the board states. So a program will be written to store n number of both states. These are the training examples. These are the training examples. The both states will be given as input. B will be given as input to the system. And the computer gets trained. Computer gets trained with the both states. Now, what next? So we are going to define a function called as choose move. So choose move is a function which will select the best board state available in the database. It will select the best board state available in the database, and from there it will select the best legal moves available in the dataset M. So this is the objective of the target function. So as I told you already, if a particular move has led to win a game, then you have to assign credit for the particular move. And if a particular move has led the computer to lose a game, then we have to blame a particular move. So we have to go for an alternative target function in which we give value for each and every particular move. This is the input both state. You can see the white coins and the red coins available, and the output moves. Can you see here? Can you see this particular has come here in the first state? Similarly, this has moved here. This is one particular state. The second one is this remains common, but this has come out. This has come out in the second diagram, and similarly, but this remains the same. This move remains the same. In the third one, you can see the same. This goes here. So these are the output moves for the given input state. So this is the board state, and these are the legal moves. So if the program select this particular board state, these will be the moves available in it. And choose move function will select the best move which leads to the winning of a game. That we are going to define an alternative target function. The target function is called as F, and B is the board state, and R is a real number. We are going to define 4 conditions. Okay, the F of B equal to 100, F of B equal to, this is plus 100, this is minus 100, and F of B is equal to 0, and F of B equal to F of B dash. So what are these 4 conditions, and what is this F, which is a target function? So this target function, I told you we are going to assign credit for each and every move. So what exactly should be the value of the target function for any given both state? Of course, any evaluation function that assign higher scores to better both states will do. If the game has led to 1, if this particular both state has led to winning of a game, then the target function will be assigned plus 100. If a particular both state has led to losing of a game, then the target function is minus 100. And if a particular both state has led the draw of a game, then f of b is equal to 0. But what is this? The fourth condition, f of b is equal to f of b dash. There are certain both states which will never end, which will lead to a new game. So we have to assume f of b dash as the both state, which is a new both state, which will lead to the winning of the game. Now let us choose a representation of the target function. What is a representation? We need to represent or formulate an expression for the target function. Our target function, sorry, I have mentioned as f, but it is f. I have mentioned as v here, sorry. So the target function f, how we are going to calculate the value of the target function. X is the number of black pieces on the board. X2 is the number of red pieces, X3 is the number of black kings, X4 is the number of red kings, X5 is the black pieces threatened by red, and X6 is the number of red pieces threatened by the black. So now the function f dash of b will be represented as omega naught plus omega 1 w naught plus w1 x1 plus w2 x2 plus w3 x3 plus w4 x4 plus w5 x5 plus w6 x6. What is these one W0 to W6? They are called as the weight values. The weight values. So the learned values for the weights from W1 through W6 will give the relative importance of the various board features in determining the value of the board. So these weight value play an important role in determining the value of a particular board state. And the value W0 will be an additive constant to the board value. Additive constant to the board value. So the partial design of checkers learning problem is playing checkers, percent of games won in the world tournament, and training experiences, games played again itself. Target function is f colon. Target function is f colon b that leads to r. R is a real number, and this is the target function representation. So we have come across all these all these steps that the game of checkers, the strategy for game of checkers have been reduced to the problem of learning values for the coefficient W0 to W6 in the target function representation. So now the focus has been shifted. The focus of finding the strategy for playing a checkers game has been shifted to finding the weight values for omega W0 to through W6. To represent the target function. In order to learn the target function, we require a set of training example. What is the target function? We need to determine whether we have won the game or not. So to determine whether we have won the game or not, we require a lot of training examples, and the training examples will be represented as an ordered pair b comma f train of b, where this f train is the target function value and v is the board state. So assume that black has won the game. Black won the game. So, and assume there are 3 black pieces available at the end of the game. So how are you going to represent the target function? Let me show you. So x1 will be equal to 3. x2 is the number of red pieces on the board, which is 0, and x3 is equal to 1. It is in our king. x4 is equal to 0. x5 equal to 0. There is no threaten from the red or from the black. x6 is equal to 0, comma plus 100. The plus 100 tells you the target function value. Since it has won the game, it is plus 100. Now we have to estimate the training values. Always remember, the board state value is given to a particular board state which corresponds to winning of the game, that is, which has led to the end of the game. So that particular board state will be given this f train of b value, plus 100 or minus 100. There are a lot of intermediate board states which will be of high which would have played a very high role leading to winning of the game, but they would not have been taken into account. So what we do, we need to give a value for that. So the value for that is f successor of b. So f successor of b is the board state value for the intermediate board states. Okay, it is not, chess is not a game that just to move and immediately win. There are a lot of intermediate board states involved, and each intermediate board states will be of a high value. So we need to like give f successor of b value to the intermediate board state, and this f successor of b value will lead to the f train of b value, that is the last board state which will lead to the winning of the game. To calculate or adjust the weight values, we are defining a function called as error function, which is the sum of the training values and the predicted values. So there are three values of error. One is a positive value, the other is 0, and there is a negative value. So when the error value is 0, there is no need for weight change. There is no need for weight change. The weight values remain the same. When the error value is positive, then the weight value should be increased in error value becomes 0. And if the error value is negative, then weight value should be decreased in proportion so that the error value becomes 0. This is how we need to adjust the weight value. This eta is a constant which will be usually 0.1. So whatever weight value we get for the input board state, it will be assigned as a new value. We have arrived at the final design of our Checkers learning system. It is described by 4 distinct program modules: the performance system, the critic, the generalizer, the experiment generator. The performance system takes as input a new problem or a new game and produces a trace of its solution as output. So it gives solution as output. So this solution will be given as input to the critic. So this critic, what it does is it outputs a set of training examples. It gives a set of training examples to the generalizer. So what the generalizer does, from the set of training example, it defines a hypothesis. It defines a hypothesis as an output. This hypothesis is given as an input to the experiment generator. So the role of the experiment generator is to pick new practice problems that will maximize the learning rate of the overall system. So in our example, the experiment generator follows a very simple strategy. It always proposes same initial game board to begin a new game. Thus, these 4 choices, performance system, critic, generalizer, and experiment generator, have made specific instances for the Checkers learning problem. So this is the summary of choices in designing the Checkers learning problem. First, we determine the type of training experience, whether the computer is going to play games against experts or it is going to play game against self or the table of correct moves. So the type of experiences, it plays games against itself. Then you have to determine the target function. What is the target function? The target function is the board value. So the best board value will get an positive value or plus 100 value. Next, we need to represent the target function or the learned function. So after representing, we have to determine the learning algorithm. This is learning algorithm. What kind of algorithm we are going to use, whether we are going to use linear regression or classification algorithm or clustering algorithm, all these things. And after that, we go for gradient descent method and complete the design of this particular Checkers problem. Next comes the issues in the machine learning. What algorithms exist for learning general target function from specific training? Example, there are a number of algorithms available. You will have regression algorithm, you will have classification algorithm, clustering algorithms, you have decision trees, random forest, naive Bayes algorithm. So you have to correctly choose the algorithm for learning the general target function. In what settings will particular algorithm converge? See, even though there are a number of algorithms available, the algorithm should lead in converging the game. That is, the algorithm must be helpful in winning the game or losing the game. That is called as convergence. So the conversion has to happen first. So in what settings that particular algorithm will converge, and which algorithm performs best for types of problems and representation, how much training data is sufficient. Usually when you design a model, there should be 70% of training data and 30% of testing data. And what is the best way to reduce the learning task to one or more function approximation problem? So if you have similar problems, how can we reduce the task? Next is how the previous training example will guide the process of generalizing. And even though the previous examples are a number of training examples are available, will it lead to a correct output? And what will be the best strategy for choosing a useful training experience? And how far the learner can automatically alter the representation for a problem and learn the target function? These are the various issues associated with machine learning. The end of the session. So in this video we have discussed about what is machine learning, what are the types of machine learning available, and we have taken the problem of game of checkers, and hopefully you would have understood what is training experience, how to choose a target function, and how to formulate an algorithm, and how to arrive at the final design of the design of a well-defined learning problem. Any doubts can be posted to the mail ID Farin Farzana at savita.ac.in.